what is going on? What is going on? Jerome's Minnesota Vikings do get it done on the road against the Tennessee Titans. It wasn't the ass whooping that we wanted, but you will take a double-digit win in the National Football League. And also, more importantly, I don't have to eat this hat. Although I did have some good recipes. Like I think I was going to roll it up in a spring roll. Yeah, with a little bit of the roasted pork and shrimp and the vermicelli noodles. Make sure it's like nice and fresh, but it's kind of good. Also, you should buy a Jerome hat in the store because the holiday season is certainly coming around, right? But the Vikings do emerge with a win. It is extremely, extremely tough to get a win in the National Football League, especially on the road. And the Vikings moved to 8-2 on the season. Fortunately, don't make any headway in the NFC North division because the Lions are freaking freight train. Again, what's annoying is that if Jordan Addison runs the right route on third down and the Vikings are able to move the sticks, the Vikings beat the Lions. But it is what it is. Anyway, Jordan Addison definitely had himself a comeback game. He was fantastic today. Also, Justin friggin' Jefferson setting records, most receiving yards in first 5 NFL seasons. So you absolutely love to see that, and we're diving on in here. So if you got a comment or question, toss a couple bucks in the super chat. Kellen Regisis, $7 Canadian. Love this team, but why do we play to our opponent's standard? It's embarrassing and is a reason why we're not going to go far. Also, Metellus and Naylor were bad. Metellus getting lost in the soup on that 98-yard touchdown. Naylor having 2 drops, including a touchdown. And this was a really odd game, right? And we've seen this team kick ass, but it just seems like at times they're not firing on all cylinders, right? And there's been some great moments. There's been some bad moments. And I mean, frankly, the Titans kind of beat themselves with the penalties, wiping out big-time plays. And you could say that, well, the officiating was one side, but the Titans were shooting themselves in the foot. Now, all the illegal procedures, I mean, that's on them, right? Now, you could say that, does the right tackle getting an extra half step back affect the play, and is that an excuse for the Vikings giving up big plays? No, it's not really, right? But it is what it is. The Vikings do get a win. Also, I love that announcers lose their mind when the other team is getting taxed for bad penalties. It happens, man. Brendan Falco, $5. Skull, get Harry that ring. Hall of Famer, just like Purple FTW. Thank you. I think Harrison Smith is going to get in the Hall before me. All right, but Harrison sealing things at the end. Kind of poetic, Tennessee kid. And you do certainly love to see that. Also, something we love to see is the annual Thanksgiving food shelf fundraiser. So every dollar donated to the show, the rest of the month will be sent to various Twin Cities food shelves, including our friends Every Meal. Their direct donation link is in the description. So all super chats, like everything that's going to be on the live streams, Venmos, Cash Apps will go towards the food shelves. And all the links to donate are in the description. If you donate directly to Every Meal, shoot us an email so we can count that in the total. You guys are the best. It's one of our favorite things to do every single year. Paying it forward this time of year. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Next is Christian Ariza, $5. Oh, if you got a question or comment, toss a couple bucks in the super chat. Good win, but feel like we haven't dominated for a full game since Houston. Yeah, that's pretty true. Where you look at the Viking schedule, right? So put the bang thing on the Giants. Sure. One-sided game against the Niners. They sort of came back at the end, whatever. Dominated the Texans. Let the Packers back into things in the second half, but still came out with a win. And since then, it's been a bit of a sojourn, right? You sort of survived against the Jets. Near run thing against the Lions. You had your chances against the Rams. Couldn't do it. You beat the Colts after a comatose first half. Jaguars, you didn't score an offensive touchdown and won. And then the Titans. I mean, it's nice to win by double digits, but I don't know, there's so many opportunities. Like if Naylor catches that bomb, I mean, this is 30-13. The defense, if they didn't give up that 98-yard touchdown, whatever. And I don't know, like it's very nice to get a win. And now the Vikings have had 3 straight wins, including 2 on the road. Next week they go face the Bears, you had one freaking job. Just get a little bit closer. I'm all alone instead of that 46-yarder that got blocked. So back-to-back weeks now, there's been a potential game-winning field goal blocked at the end. I feel like the Vikings haven't had a blocked field goal since 1961. First game, and then nothing since then. Sort of frustrating. Yeah. Anyways, like we said, we got a question or comment. Toss a couple bucks in super chat. Taze, $5. Vikings are a nailer touchdown away from winning 30-13. Vikings are good. No need to overreact. The Chiefs aren't beating everyone by 20. And that's fair. I feel like there is a balance there. Yes, it is great to win, and no, you can't be perfect every single week, but it just felt like this one. It just felt like this one should have been more one-sided, but certainly a lot of things for the Vikings to work on. 10 takeaways from the game. Have to play a complete game, right? And the effort that the Vikings have had against the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Colts, that's not going to get it done in the playoffs. Like, that's not going to get it done against the Lions. Certainly not going to get it done against even the likes of the Eagles or whoever the Vikings end up playing in the postseason. The defense was dominant, but you can't ignore those big plays. Right, Will Levis was harassed all damn day, sacked 5 times. They were after that ass, but he still had 295 yards passing, mainly on that one touchdown bomb to Westbrook. Blah blah blah. But it's just a weird thing because the Vikings, the defense was after it all damn day, shutting down the run game. Levis was put off the spot, but the big time plays, obviously the 98-yarder, as well as, the 50-yarder got wiped out, but 1 for 33, and also the 30-yard catch of Tyler Boyd, which everyone forgot to tackle. It's just kind of frustrating. Yeah, but this does feel like a little bit like looking a gift horse in the mouth. Work hard, play hard. 8-2 is 8-2. Now on to the division skull, which I feel like it is a proper way to look at things, and we could have a little emo, mini funeral pity party, but it is what it is, right? And just looking at the standings, right? Meow. Let's see what we got here. Let's look at division, I guess. All right, so division, Vikings still 8-2. Would have been nice if the Packers were 6-4. Bears, but still looking up at the Lions. Lions do have a couple of tough games coming up. They got the Bills at home, and then they have they're at San Francisco, Monday Night Football, like second to last week of the season. Of course, they got the Vikings again, Week 18. Bring it. And the Vikings, I still think the Vikings have a chance to win out. So we'll see. Chris, $2, 8-2, sailing through some rough waters. Indeed. But let's see. If the season ended now, today, the Vikings would still be the 5 seed, even at 8-2. Packers and the Commies would round out the wild cards. The Vikings would open up at the Cardinals, who are on bye this week. All right, so but I don't know. Like it's really hard to put your finger on it because it's almost like whack-a-mole, right? And the Vikings, they have the talent. They have this combination to be the most dominant team in the league, or at least one of them, and they just can't get the combination quite right. Like 1 week it's the defense, 1 week it's Darnold, 1 week it's Jefferson, 1 week it's Paolo Andreotti, 250 pounds. Titans played their best against us, like everyone. That's the thing too. Like the Vikings have a good record, so they're going to get everyone's best effort. Right? It's like they got the Jaguars' best effort last week, and as you saw from today, the Jaguars just mailed that thing in, man. Marcus White, $5. Andrew Van Ginkel, Defensive Player of the Year. That's right. How about his presence on the field? Plus, do we pay Patrick Jones? I don't know. Like Patrick Jones had 2 sacks in this game, which is his first sacks. No, 3 sacks. Yeah, 3 sacks, didn't he? Let me look. If only we knew this. Patrick Jones had 2 sacks, but he's got 8 on the season. His first sack since week 4. I don't know if we pay him, right? Because you got Van Ginkel, you got Grenard, you have Turner, even though Turner didn't really play much today. So that's what the thinking is. But yeah, absolutely yes on Grenard for Defensive Player of the Year. Now, what happens with Defensive Player of the Year is it gets too focused on one trait. Where it's like, oh, you had or one stat. Oh, you have a lot of sacks. You must be a Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, you have a lot of interceptions. You must be a Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, Van Ginkel does everything. Right? So he led the team in tackles today with 8. He had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. He, obviously has had the pick sixes throughout the season. So I don't know. EDT, $49 Mexican. O'Connell play calling is not great. I actually think that was pretty good today. You could say in the second half, sure, there certainly was some issues, especially the first couple of drives, but I like how it seemed like O'Connell kept Darnold within himself, and as well as the aggressiveness of going for it, going for it on fourth down, down inside the 5, as well as going for that kill shot to Naylor. So Naylor was in because Addison was missing the end of the game with cramps. So does Addison come down with that? I think he does. So it happens. Kitka 85, $5. A win is a win. A credit to Reisner rising up in the situation. Skull from Austin, Texas. Come on up for the Reisner. Was in at right guard for Ed Ingram, but overall the offensive line did not have a good day. I know it'll go down as 2 sacks for Darnold, but if Darnold didn't have his mobility and pocket awareness, this could have been a very, very bad day. If Kirk Cousins was at quarterback versus Darnold, this could have been a 5-6 sack game. He was under duress a lot. You have to give Darnold a lot of credit for being able to buy some time, scramble out, keep his eyes downfield, and do the damn thing. But yeah, it was sort of tough all the way around. More takeaways. Darnold saw the defense dominant, but gave up some big plays. Darnold saw the light. He was baptized. Production was on good. Jefferson is the GOAT. JJ, this is what happens. 6 for 81. It's not eye-popping numbers, but he was blanketed all day, double and triple teamed, and he still is the GOAT. And you just give it time. Teams will get sick of Addison having big-time games, Oliver getting loose as well, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be oh, he's singled up on the outside and around the outside. Awesome. No big deal. Kevin O'Connell's in a groove play calling. I thought things were really good, and I think that O'Connell starting to shy away from things because he has to know his man, Sam Darnold, and I think that he's looking at stuff where Darnold can't get target fixated on Jefferson as the primary read and is going for other receivers, going everything underneath, and I think it was overall a good game for O'Connell, although the interior offensive line wasn't getting much going in the run game, but also, I don't know, that's what you get for running directly at Tavondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons. Jordan Addison is a dog, man. I know that he was dinged up and dehydrated late in the game, which I know has different connotations for him. But 3 catches for 61 and a touchdown, taking some big shots, had 2 hospital balls. Well, they weren't even hospital balls, but he took some big-time shots. Drew that sort of thin personal foul in the end zone, keeping a drive alive on fourth down. Everyone pisses and moans about the refs when the Vikings are beneficiaries. No problem. If the penalties were against the Vikings, everyone would be like, get over it. That's what happens. Andrew Van Ginkel is the most underrated defender in the league. He absolutely is. Vikings are the most high variance team in the league, where this team on a given day, they can beat the Lions. If the Vikings played the Lions 10 times, I think the Vikings win at least 4, right? Maybe 4.5. Who knows? But also, I feel like if the Vikings play the Titans 10 times, the Vikings probably lose 3 times. So the Vikings can win. They can beat anyone in the league. They can lose to anyone in the league. All right? And that's just the way it is sometimes. But the Vikings, I feel like all the pieces are there. And O'Connell and Flores, they're definitely been in their bags. And if this team gels at the right time, I'll tell you what, of any teams in the playoffs, no one wants to see the Vikings. Just on the off chance that Darnold gets things together, Jefferson is obviously going to be great, that defense can do whatever the hell it wants, and overall, no. So if you're the Cardinals, say you win the NFC West, right? Would you rather face the Vikings, the Packers, the Commies, the Niners again, the Rams, or whoever? I think that you would want anyone else except for the Vikings. That's what it comes down to, man. All right, but like I said, either way, we are on to Chicago and the Bears. They fought the good fight against the Packers, and the Bears aren't without talent, and I think that they got that mini bump from Shane Waldron being fired, but they just couldn't get it done at the end. That was a big time showing by their defense, but it's not going to be a gimme. Division games are always tough. Vikings for years had a thing about not looking great at Soldier Field, but now, the Vikings, it's nice getting 2 wins on the road, even if they were in less than impressive fashion, but now you have a chance to finish up this road swing, finish up November 4-0, which you need to do, get to 9-2, what it do, and then just go from there. All right, but 1-game season, get to 9-2, beat the Bears' ass in Soldier Field, and then guess what? 3 home games, and you only have 1 climate game the rest of the way, December 22nd against the Seahawks, so who knows what that's going to be up in Seattle. But I don't know. I got a lot of faith in this team, but also there's a lot of things to work on. And I think that's the best situation for everyone involved. So obviously super happy to get that win. But, I mean, just got to get things clicking. Got to get things going together. Proud of how Sam Darnold bounced back. The interior run game was not great. Addison and Jefferson were studs out there today. Defense dominant at times, but also gave up that big-time play. And that's really what it came down to, man. But overall, defensively, you've given up 2 touchdowns. Wait, no, not even that. You've given up, let's see here. You have given up 1 touchdown in the last 3 games. That's not bad. That's not bad, man. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings moved to 8-2 with a 23-13 win over the Titans. We'll be back with winners and losers, as well as, remember, Thanksgiving Food Shelf fundraiser, all Super Chats, Venmos, Cash Apps going to various Twin Cities food shelves. You guys